Hi students. So in today's class, I would like to explain about remaining topics in multiple axes. So already in the last class, we were discussed that is different topics in multiple axes in data communication. So what is the multiple axis resolution and how the data link layer will be subdivided into two types, that is the data link layer and multiple axis resolution, and what is meant by random axis, and how different types of involved in multiple axis protocols. Those are nothing but random axis protocols, controlled axis protocols, and the channelization protocols. So in next different types of aloha, that is the pure aloha and slotted aloha. So already we were discussed in the last class. So the throughput of slotted aloha and throughput of pure aloha. So in today's class, I would like to explain about the CSMA. CSMA, that is the carrier sense multiple axis. Carrier sense multiple axis techniques. So the CSMA, it is used for to minimize it is used for to minimize the chance of collision, and therefore it is increase the performance. The CSMA method was developed. The CSMA collision can be in this the collision can be reduced if a station senses the medium before trying to use it. So here mainly the CSMA, the collision of the data frames will be reduced. So due to this, whenever it sends the station if the medium before trying to use it. So carrier sense multiple axis, so requires that each station first listen to the medium, listen to the medium. So after that, or check the state of the medium before sending. That means if you want to sending the data from one end to another end, so here whatever we are having the channel, we have in this diagram we are having A station and the B station and the C and the D. So whatever, so if A station wants to send the data, so first it has to, whatever the channel it is using the station, that has to first sense, that is it first listen to the medium, or check the state of the medium before sending. So in other word, CSMA is based on the principle sense before transmit. So first of all, so whatever we if you want to answer the question, so first we have to listen the question. So that means sense before transmit, or listen before talk. So the CSMA can reduce the possibility of collision, so but it cannot estimate it. So in this diagram, so here we are having different type of stations. So those are nothing but A station and the B station and the C station and the D station. So here if the station A wants to send the data, so first whatever the channel that is the station using whatever the channel using the station, so first of all it has to check or sense that whether the channel is free or not. So if that sensing is over, so after that it will A will be transmit the data. So and if in case at the time if A delivered the data, and at the same time B wants to send, so already A station was delivered the data. So if the A occupy that channel space, so that B wants to, if the B wants to send data, so at the time it will sense the data. At the time it will sense the data. So already A transmitted, so then so it will be postponed to some another time. So whenever the channel will be free at the same time. So based on the principle, the CSMA will be worked in any data communication system. So whatever the we are transmitting the information from one end to another end, so the same principle, that means in a simple words, so whatever if we want to talk, so we have to listen before talk or sense before transmit. So based on the principle, the CSMA will be working in any type of data communication. So in next slide, so it is also in this also it will consist, it will calculates the vulnerable time in CSMA. So at time t1, station B senses the medium and finds it ideal, so it sends frame. And at time t2 is greater than t1, station C senses the medium and finds it ideal. So because at this time the first bits from station B have not reached station C. So in the same station C, so it also sends a frame. So the two signals collide at both frames are destroyed. So whenever the station sensing the channel, so if there is no data transmission from during that time, so any station wants to release the data and transmits another station. So that is the frame of propagation, that is so you have to that may be the data transmission may depend on so vulnerable time is equal to propagation time. So here vulnerable time is nothing but so the vulnerable time for CSMA is the propagation time. So this is the time needed for a signal to propagate from one end of the medium to the other. So that is what's the meaning of vulnerable time is. So if you want to reach that a station wants to deliver, that will reach us to another station or reaches to the destination, the amount of required time to transmit source to destination, so the required time is called vulnerable time of the medium. So when a station sends a frame and any other station tries to send a frame during this time, so a collision will result. So in case if already the B station occupied or released data, so irrespective of that the C station is also deliver the data during that time. So definitely there will be a collision will be occurred within that medium. So to avoid that we have to in CSMA mainly we have to use so sense before the transmit or listen before talk. So based on that principle, so the collision will be avoidable in carrier sense multiple axis. So to overcome this collision, so we have to use different persistence methods. Those are nothing but one persistent method and non-persistent method and the P persistent method. So by using these methods, so we have to release or transmit the data from one end to another and from one end to another end. So here the persistence method is nothing but, so here we have three behaviors of the persistence methods. Those are nothing but one persistent and the non-persistent and the P persistent. So based on these principle, so we have to release or send the data from source to destination or transmitter to receiver. So we have to send from the data from transmitter to receiver. So we have to use these type of methods, one based on one persistent method and the non-persistent method and the P persistence method. So here what should be the station do if the channel is busy? So what should a station do if the channel is ideal? So there will be three methods we have been devised to answer these questions. Those are nothing but one persistent method and the non-persistent method and the p persistent method. So the one persistent method is a simple method. So it is a simple method. So whenever, so at the some part of time, so the transmitter continuously sensing the channel. So if that during that sensing time, so there will be the sensor will be find the channel will be busy, so that could not transmit the data, that could not transmit the data from transmitter to receiver. So they where will be, it will be available, that means the where will be that sensor will find the channel will be ideal, so then only it will be sense and it will be sense and it will transmit the data from transmitter to receiver, from the transmitter to receiver. So that is about one persistent method. So in the one persistent method is a simple and straightforward. So in this method, so after the station finds the line ideal, so it sends its frame immediately with the probability 1. So this method has the highest chance of collision because two or more stations may find the line ideal and sends their frames immediately. So here whenever we are having for example consider, so in this persistent method we are having uh, three transmitters or three stations. So during that same time, if A and the B and the C stations will be sensing, so at the time 3 will be find the same time of the ideal channel. So there will be a collision will be occurred from one station to another, station. So to avoid that disadvantage or situation, so we are going to another method that is nothing but a non-persistent method. So this is the one persistent method. So to overcome that more collisions or more stations are trying to transmit the information at the same time, so we will go for non-persistent method. So in this non-persistent method, a station that has a frame to send and sense the channel, if the line is ideal, so it sends immediately. If the line is not ideal, so it waits a random amount of time and then senses the line again. So here in this non-persistent method, so whenever we are observing, so first one station will be sensing at one point of time. So if that station finds the line is busy, so then it will wait for some random amount of time. So that will be wait at random amount of time. So after that time, so again it will be sense. So again it will find the channel is busy. Again it will be wait some random amount of time. So based on the random amount of time, so it will be sensing, and so whenever it finds the ideal, then the station or the channel will be sensing and transmit the data from transmitter to receiver. So that is about non-persistent method. And another one is p persistent method. So the p persistent method is used if the channel has time slots with a slot duration equal to or greater than the maximum propagation time. So in this p persistent approach, so it combines the advantages of the other two strategies. So it reduces the chance of collision and it improves the efficiency. So in this method, so after the station finds the line ideal, so it follows the following steps. Those are nothing but with probability p, the station sends its frame. So with a probability q is equal to 1 minus v, so the station waits for the beginning of the next time slot, and checks the line again. So if the line is ideal, so it goes to step 1. So if the line is busy, so it acts as through a collision has occurred and uses the backoff procedure. So here in p persistent method, so here we are combining the both above two methods. One is the one persistent method and another one is non-persistent method. So here in case of one persistent method, that channel will be continuously sensing, continuously again and again it will be sensing. So whenever the sensor will find the line is ideal, then it will be transmit the data from transmitter to receiver. So in non-persistent method, so when the station sensing, so if that may find the busy, it will wait some random of time, again it will sense, again it will find the some random amount that will be channel will be busy. So again whenever it finds the ideal, then only it transmit the data. So in case of the p persistent, we having both the one persistent and non-persistent methods. So that means, so initially in p persistent method, it continuously sense. So if it may busy, so again that will be applied to some of the time slot. So there will be based on the probability outcome. So if that probability may occurs within the channel, so it does not permit, it does not allow the transmission from the transmitter to receiver. So whenever, so by using these methods, so we use these methods in a carrier sense multiple access. So by using these methods, so we most probably we will reduce the collisions among the one station to another station, one station to another station. And the same thing will be explained in flow, in case of data flow diagram. So here listen, so here we have one persistent method. So we are having the channel is the decision of the channel. So the station, so whatever the data we are transmitting, so that will be, so if busy, again it will be come back to the sensing part. So if the channel is ideal, the station can transmit. So in non-persistent method, so we are having the channel. So in the initial part we are having the station. So if the channel is busy, so that will wait random of time. So random of time is nothing but, so some at this instant of time, that will be wait for 1 second. So after that it wait for 2 seconds. After that it wait for 4 seconds. So again that sensing will be randomly increasing the time period. So whenever the channel will be find ideal, so then at the time the station, whatever the station A wants to send the information from transmitter to receiver, so that is the non-persistent method. And coming to p persistent method, so here also we having the station A and B and the channel. So if they may that sensor may finds the channel is busy, again it go back to the initial situation or initial procedure. So if they may ideal, then it will be go for probability outcome. So that probability checks whether it may be greater than or equal to p or less than or equal to p. So if the greater than or equal to p, so it will be wait a slot. So then it will be given to the channel. Again it will be given to the channel. So if the channel is ideal, so then again it will checks the probability outcome. So if it will busy, so then it will it uses back of process as through collision will be occurred. So if that probability will be less than or equal to p, then the station can transmit. So in p persistent method, it will be allows both the one persistent and non-persistent methods. So and the next one, Next one, so the collision of CSMA CD. So that is CSMA CD is nothing but, so the full form of the CSMA CD is nothing but carrier sense multiple axis with collision detection. So here already we seen what is carrier sense multiple axis and what is the principle involved in the CSMA. So the principle involved in the CSMA is so listen before talk or sense before transmit. So based on that the CSMA will be work. So here we have another type in multiple axis, that is carrier sense multiple axis collision detection. So the CSMA method, so the CSMA method does not specify the procedure following a collision. So it does not specify the following collision. So the carrier sense multiple axis with collision detection is the algorithm to handle the collision. So in this method, a station monitors the medium after it sends a frame to see if the transmission was successful or not. So if the station is finished, so there will be a collision. So the frame will be again sent from the transmitter to receiver. So whenever we are observing this diagram, so we are having A station and the B station and the C station and the D station. So here we are having some transmission time. So that is the T1 for A station, T1 and T4. So at this time, so at the T1 time, so the first bit of the data will be transmitted or released from station A to D, from A to D. So that is nothing but, so we that will be reached from at the time of T2 and T3. So if the another channel will be released the same the information or the data from same time at that will be in between, that will be reaches from A to B. So definitely there will be a collision occurs. So whenever it crosses from one channel to another channel, so the collision will be occurred. So at the time the C transmitter will detect and abort that abort the data at that time. So again, so if the data will not reaches to the destination station, so the request will be sended or the acknowledgement will be released from the destination to source. So again the amount of data will be transmitted to the source. So based on that procedure, whatever the amount of information we will lose at the destination, so again that information will be transmitted through from through a channel from the source. So that will be done in the CSMA slash CD, that is carrier sense multiple axis collision detection. So in CSMA CD, so if the medium is ideal, then start transmitting, otherwise it will be go to the step 2. So we'll see that entire so this entire procedure in this flow diagram, that is the first step. So the station has starts a frame to send, so that is it will be start. So then the k is equal to 0. So in CSMA CD, if the medium is ideal, then it will be start transmitting. So otherwise it will be go to step 2. So if the medium is busy, so if the medium is busy, so it continues to listen or sense until the channel is ideal, then it start transmitting immediately. So if during transmission a collision is detected, so it transmits a frame jamming signal to assure that all stations know that there has been a collision, and then immediately it sees the transmission. So after transmitting the jamming signal, it will wait a random amount of time, so is referred as back off time. So then it attempt the station to transmit again. So here initially the station will be sends the frame, so that is the k equal to 0. So if the channel is free or ideal, so then it will be apply one of the persistence method, that is one persistent or non-persistent, and the p persistent method. So that will be checks whether the channel is eligible for transmission. So if the transmission will be done or collision will be detected, so if the transmission done, so it will be if there is no transmission or collision will be occurred, so that will be transmit and receive. So if there will be any collision will be occurred, so again this will be activate the remaining channels with a jamming signals. So if there is no collision will be detected, so definitely that will be reached to the receiver. So if there will be a collision occurred, so it will generate immediately a jamming signal with some amount of time, that is k is equal to k plus 1. So that will be, that jamming signal will be alert the remaining stations within the transmission. So whatever the stations will be established from one sender to receiver, so that will be received. So it will not rectified, or it will not recollect the collide data. So then it immediately abort that transmission. So this is will be occurred in this flow. So this is about CSMA and the CSMA CD, and in the next class we will discuss CSMA bar CA, that is carrier sense multiple axis collision abort. So and next we will continue controlled axis. So we will discuss these topics in next class. Thank you one and all. So please subscribe DBS Talks. So you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, DBS Talks for you, and you can follow us YouTube on DBS Talks, and you can want more information, so you want to subscribe dbstalks.com. Thank you. Please subscribe DBS Talks.